All right, guys, we got to get started somewhere, so I'm just gonna get right off into it. This here's a 2015 Bayliner Flight Series 185. It's got the 4.3 Mercruiser MPI engine in it. As you can see, there's parts laying everywhere. It's a mess right now, but we'll get into that later. First, I gotta clean up this mess I made in the back of the truck. Spilled about a quarter of a bottle of 409 cleaner, so we're gonna get that knocked out and then we'll get right into the Bayliner. I know what y'all are thinking. Blue truck, orange cooler. This guy is an Auburn fan. But actually, no, I'm not. I hate football. So, there's that. Maybe that cleaned my bed mat out at least a little bit. All right, so you may be wondering what's going on with the Bayliner. I'll try to tell you a little bit about it while I'm getting this cover pulled back a little bit. There's a 185 badge. Like I said, this boat's a 2015 model. It's pretty nice, pretty modern for a boat. Pretty much these are turnkey start. You just jump in them, bump the key, crank it up, and take off just like you would your daily driver. Pretty much that simple. Well, this one, as in what happens to a lot of them, somebody didn't winterize it. So what that means is you got freeze damage. You can probably tell by looking at this cylinder head here what went wrong there. When water freezes, it expands. It's got to go somewhere. So it'll push metal out. No doubt about it. So originally we thought this boat had just cracked manifolds. Of course, it turned out to be more than that, as it does a lot of times. But with the price of this boat, it allowed for a full engine replacement. So that's where we're at. We've got the manifolds pulled off. They're actually cracked, as you can see right there on the top. Both of them cracked. We got two brand new ones in the box right here, ready to go. Mercruiser. So we got the outdrive off. I like to pull the outdrive off just because it's a little bit simpler, in my opinion, to pull an engine. If you get your outdrive off and out of the way, you see up in there, see your bellows and your gimbal bearing. All that looks good. It's in great shape. No issues there. No issues with the rams. So let's get up inside this thing and show you what's going on with it. I'm gonna get in here and open the lid up on this thing. Let's see. All right. There we go. That don't look good, does it? So what happened here? Found a crack on one of the cylinder heads. The cylinder head over here seemed to be okay. Still seems to be okay. Got a little surface rust on it, but that ain't nothing to worry about. That'll come right off. We got the intake pulled off. Found a little bit of milky oil in the lifter valley. So, long story short, we couldn't really explain where that came from. Don't see any cracks inside the block there, where they typically crack at, so couldn't blame it on that. But anyway, just decided to go ahead and order a long block, get it on the way. That's the safest thing to do, so we know we got a good engine in the long run. So so we're getting ready to pull this thing out of here. Spent a good bit of time last night getting things loose, and motor mounts loose. Pretty much everything's loose. Ready to come out. Got some stuff up here. The whole MPI wiring harness sitting up there. Just pulled the whole thing out. So next we just gotta get the crane hooked up and get it pulled out of there. That's what that thing is there. Gotta do a little modifying on it. It's not quite wide enough to fit around this boat, so we'll modify it just a little bit to where it'll fit over here, and get in here and hook this thing up and get it snatched out of here. Let's see what we've got under here. Oh yeah. More boat stuff. So this is actually the MPI intake off of the Bayliner here. As you can see, we got 6 injectors for a V6 4.3, but it's sitting on a 305 V8 Mercruiser engine. I'll give you one guess what's wrong with it. But anyway, just got that stuff sitting there. Trying to keep the rain off of it. Still got some usable parts on here that we're gonna have to get off and use on the other boat project. So let's go check that one out. You may have spotted these 2 T5 transmissions laying here. So yeah, we'll get to that at a later date. Got a lot coming for those, or one of them at least. So let's get over here and check out this Crownline project. It is hot out here today. All right, keep an open mind on this one. This one needs a lot more work than the little Bayliner over there, but this is more of what we're used to. This thing needs a lot of work, but it's got huge potential. This thing, dual wheel trailer, got disc brakes. Disc brakes on a boat trailer, something. Outdrive's already off of this one as well. Boat's got potential. A good solid hull. Just needs a good cleaning. Logan to do a good buffing job on it. That thing will look like a new penny. Let's get inside here and see what we got. Ooh. Oh yeah. So this one's gonna get new engine, all new upholstery, lots of cleaning, but it'll be right. This will be a nice boat when we get done with it. There'll be a lot coming for this one in the future. I'll try to get some good content on this. So when I went to look at this boat, the guy didn't bother telling me that he had already pulled the engine out of it. Had no clue. Thought I was going to look at a boat that still had the engine in it. You know, I prefer to take everything apart myself. I don't really like to go behind somebody else. I want to be the one to take it apart, put it back together. But anyway, you know, I just tried to see the positive in the situation, and you know, he's already done 25% of the work for us. He's already got everything out. But you know, I've built these Mercruisers before, so I'll figure out where everything goes. It's not a big deal at all. So I really wish the guy had told me. It would have been nice before I drove about an hour to go look at this thing and had no clue that the engine was already out of it. Not to mention, it was out of it, and it was about an hour away from where the boat was. So yeah, I had to do some driving that day to round up all the parts and pieces to go with this thing. Got the outdrive inside, it's all in good shape. We'll put a new gimbal bearing in it, put a new water pump impeller in the foot, put some fresh gear oil in it, get everything cleaned up. New gasket on the drive housing right there. So this thing will be it'll be ready to go, be ready to get on the water. Got to get this one done by next summer. I'll get this truck moved back over here out of the way. This is my 2022 F-150 XLT. This is the 302A package on the F-150. Big screen. Gonna hit the boat, don't worry. Pre-collision assist. Thought I was about to run into the boat. So you should have a pretty good idea now of what we're doing with the boat projects. Got two of them going. Pretty much doing the same thing on both of them, and then the Crownline's getting a whole lot more. So I'm gonna get this one knocked out first. Try to get Logan on the water. That way him and his wife can enjoy it a little bit this summer. And we'll get the other one ready for next summer. So we'll move on to some Mustang stuff. Or just car stuff in general, I guess. I wanted to show you this stuff. It's Onyx Tire Shine. It's the best stuff I've ever used. 10, 12 years ago, I used to see it in an auto parts store in my local town. Haven't been seeing it much lately, so I got on there and ordered me some. It works really good. It dries on the tire. It doesn't sling off like most of that other stuff does. We're gonna be doing a little bit of welding on the gantry crane here. I'm gonna take that top beam loose and scoot it over, and I'm gonna build a plate and a gusset and weld it all into place. And actually gonna extend this thing out and make it about 118 inches wide inside, which will give us enough clearance to fit around both of these boats that we're working on. So we'll be doing that hopefully coming up in the next couple of weeks. Got to get a couple more things together to get the welding machine set up, get some steel, to make those plates with. But so we got two T5 transmissions here. Actually found one of them. I found the silver one there on the marketplace. Popped up one morning, and I took off on my lunch break and went and snatched it up. It was just a good deal that I couldn't turn down. It's out of an '87 Mustang. Got the bell housing with it. Even got a old school Hurst shifter on it. I don't know if that thing's going to be any good or not. We'll get it cleaned up and see. I've got some more shifters that'll work. But the blue one here is actually, it's a 1352. It's out of 99 to 04 V6 Mustang, I believe is what that is. If you notice here, it doesn't have the provision there on the tail housing for the speed sensor like the Fox body style. But so we gotta change the tail housing out and change the top plate out to accommodate top plate for the neutral safety switch. And we gotta change the input shaft. Once you do that, it'll fit right into a Fox body. And these are really good transmissions. They're built really well. Some of the later versions of it's a lot better than that '87 there. But we're just gonna put them in the car and tear them up. We'll build one of these and get it back in there. The one I've got in the car now is a '87 model as well, so it's kind of got weaker internals than what this one here does. But we'll see how long it lasts. See how many times we can snatch the gears in it and see if it'll hold up. We just got a stock motor right now, so no big deal there. Should handle it just fine. Have a little fun. Here's the outdrive for the Bayliner. The drive shaft, all the U-joints look good. Everything's in excellent shape on this thing. Stainless steel prop. No reason it shouldn't be in good shape. It's a 2015, so yep, got it inside. Let it hang out here till we get ready to put it back on. I'll give you a sneak peek of what's going on here. You guys excuse the garage, it's a mess in here. Logan stays on me all the time about that. We'll get better. This is a 1990 GT. Got my pillow in here to sit on. 1990 GT. As you can see, it's in pieces right now. You may be wondering why there's a bottle of cutting compound in here. I was doing a little polishing on the crystal up there on the instrument cluster, trying to make it a little bit nicer. Anyway, this car was originally automatic. Boring old AOD in it. Had a shift kit in it. 410 gears. I couldn't stand it. I hated it. I just like my gears. I like shifting my own gears. So we got in here and pulled the pedal assembly out. Put a 5-speed clutch pedal style pedal assembly in it. Got the T5 in. Got everything converted over. So now we're just in the process of putting everything back together. I've got to adjust this shifter a little bit. It's not the MGW shifter there. I bought it used at a swap meet. Just bolted it on there with 2 bolts to see how it felt, and got it cranked up and running, and kind of jumping out of second a little bit, so I think it's not letting it come back far enough into second gear. So I gotta get that adjusted and get the clutch itself adjusted, and we'll be ready to move forward with that. So there'll be a lot coming on this car. Try to document as much of it as I can. See if anybody out there is interested. I know there's a lot of Fox body channels out there. I follow a lot of them guys. So we're just doing little small things around here. Nothing major. Not breaking any records by no means. Just gonna pedal around and have a good time. here we've got just a bone stock 302. Nothing major done to it. It's got a set of 1 5/8" shorty headers on it. Some kind of cheap cold air intake. I have no idea what it is. It was on the car when I got it. As you can see, the car's in, it's excellent condition. Not 100% sure what we're going to do under here. Thinking maybe 351 swap. Never done that to one of these cars. I've done a lot of mods to these old Fox bodies, intake swaps, cam heads, all the typical stuff. May spray a little nitrous to it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And gotta get it on the road, banging gears first, and then we'll see what happens. You know how it goes with these Fox bodies. You just kind of spiral out of control with them. So it's probably what'll happen. So we'll just be along for the ride.